I never expected the home I bought with all my savings to be built with shortcuts by the developer. That day, my son only placed a marble on the floor. The marble rolled toward the balcony like it was out of control. That made me suspect the whole apartment was tilted. I placed the marble on the floor again to test it, but this time, the marble stayed perfectly still. My wife thought I was overthinking it, but that night, something strange happened. After a heavy rainstorm, the entire building suddenly sank by 10 centimeters. No one noticed a thing. The next morning, I went to work. That was when I saw a deep crack at the entrance. I clearly remembered that spot was fine yesterday. I quickly called the building management for repairs, but they did not take it seriously at all. Early that morning, I was suddenly woken by a violent shake. When I rushed to the window and looked outside, a deep opening had split across the street. The residents downstairs were running in panic. I thought an earthquake had hit, but suddenly the apartment began dropping fast. The entire building fell into a 100-meter deep pit. Luckily, the building got stuck halfway down. At that moment, my wife came back from grocery shopping. She never expected our new home to have fallen underground. She thought our son might be with me, but when I rushed into his room, there was no sign of him inside. Before I could react, a small car suddenly fell from above. It crashed straight into my living room. When I got closer, I realized the person inside was my coworker. The car was sliding downward from the force. I rushed over to save him, but the car handle snapped off in my hand. Luckily, the car got stuck on the edge of the giant pit. My coworker barely survived. The situation was critical. My coworker and I rushed to find other survivors in the building. Then we quickly climbed to the rooftop. We were ready to call for rescue, but inside this 100-meter deep pit, our phones had no signal at all. We could only shout toward the opening with all our strength, but there was no response from above. Luckily, the rescue team finally arrived at the scene. They sent team members down to check the situation, but as soon as they got close to the pit, loose rocks kept falling from above. With no other choice, the rescue team sent a drone down to scout the way, but before it made it halfway, it lost signal and crashed down. That made everyone realize the pit was far deeper than expected. The survivors on the rooftop saw the drone fall. They immediately knew the rescue team was above. He used all his strength to shout toward the opening, but his loud voice triggered the building's second drop. We lost our balance. We could only grab anything within reach, but my coworker slipped to the edge of the rooftop. To stop him from falling into the deep pit, a girl quickly threw a bundle of wires toward him. She told him to hold on to the wires. We tried to pull him up together, but the next second, the old wires snapped apart. In that critical moment, my coworker grabbed my foot. That barely saved his life. What made us even more excited was that the drone suddenly regained signal. It slowly flew back above the opening. After the rescue team saw the footage from the drone, they immediately dropped supplies and a satellite phone into the pit. Only then did we finally contact our families. But when I answered my wife's call, she told me our son never went grocery shopping with her. I realized my son was still trapped inside this building. I did not hesitate for even a second. I turned and rushed toward the more dangerous lower floors.